the beginning of chapter one, he starts talking about chapter one as a whole and the whole book by talking about smartphones and how tech is growing. He then goes on to talk about the specialists in the technology field and what they say about the growth of technology. After that, he compares him and his family to the story. So he compares them and their smartphones. Like him, he says he's not the ideal cell phone user. And then goes on to talk about how his daughter realizes that, or asks him that, why do adults use the phone so much for like work and stuff when kids just play games on it all day? Next, he talks about tech in the classroom and what is and isn't appropriate. And then he follows that up by comparing it to what he does in his classroom. He says he still uses technology in the classroom because it does help a good bit. He believes that cutting off technology as a whole in the classroom will not help the kids out at all. He then goes on to talk about his study that him and his partner had. Talks about linking narcissism with smartphone usage. And the study showed that narcissism is inversely related to smartphone usage. They tested college students. They tested college students on this study. And that's what they came up with. Next, he talks about how you are your phone. I mean, our phones are personalized by us. It's given to us with all the apps that the Apple puts on there, but let's be honest, we don't use that. At least I don't use any of those. But everything that I put on my phone, I put on there for me. So that's what he means by you are your phone. But that could also lead to over-dependence on your phone or having too much of a relationship with your phone, which I can relate to because there's been times where, like, you leave your phone at home and you're just freaking out because you don't know who's texting you or who's not texting you. You just don't know. And then he goes on to talk about how phones have made their way up to deciding somebody's status. So basically, if you don't have Apple, you're poor or whatever. You're not as good as the Apple users. And even the Apple users are divided because I got iPhone 10. There's probably like iPhone 13 out now. So I'd be considered like not the best because I don't have the newest iPhone. Which they do the same thing. Just obviously different, better features. Alright, and then next it talks about technological embodiment and how we are affected technological embodiment is how we are affected by our devices, not how we use them. How we are affected by the devices. Then it goes on to talk about media multitasking, which I do a lot. I get bored a lot, so therefore I'm always switching in and out of apps, trying to entertain myself. Later on, he goes on to talk about Kranzberg 6 laws. He only talks about the first one, though, which is technology is neither good nor bad, nor is it neutral, which leads him into determinism, which is basically, determinism is how skeptical you are of it and stuff like that. How much you basically think of both sides. There's 4 types of determinism, or not 4 types, there's 4 types in the determinism thing. There's hard determinism, soft determinism, which is not as bad as that, and then social shaping of technology, and then instrumentalism. He then finishes off the article by talking about all the determinists from each different category, and basically describing how they felt about the situation, and at the same time describing each category of determinism, because he described what everyone was feeling.